Yo, welcome to day 3. So far, we've talked about mindset, charts, and candlesticks. Today, we're going to talk about finding stocks to trade, pre-market analysis, a pre-market checklist, market structure, and in general, how to prepare for the market. This is where you start planning your trades, and honestly, it's a habit that's going to completely change the way you do your trading, because one thing I really like to say is failing to prepare is preparing to fail. There we go. So let's get straight into it. We'll be talking about why pre-market's important for the market, how to prepare for the market, morning routine, pre-market checklist, and just in general, how to be prepared and scan for the market. So guys, this is gonna be a little shorter one since it's just not that much. And after this class is where things start to get very, very spicy, where we go into VWAP, and then we go into entries, exits, and risk management, trading psychology, putting it all together. But this class is going to be very important, so stay tuned. At the end, the pre-market checklist I'm going to give you guys is very, very important. So you're not going to understand it though unless you watch the rest of the video. I'm going to start it off with just going over how I find stocks to trade. Okay guys, so how do I find stocks to trade? First off, as you guys can see, this is literally my watch list right here. Saying I watch the same stocks every day basically, unless something's popping like insane. MU, Target, Square, IWM, SMCI, Netflix, Hood, Nvidia, GameStop, Qs, Apple, Google, Microsoft, Coin, Meta, SPY, Tesla, Amazon, AMD. More or less like these up here and not GameStop. Move GameStop over here. But yeah, so as you guys can see, I look at all these are the stocks I like to trade. And when I was starting off, and what I would recommend for you guys starting off is stick to just a few of them. Maybe stick to AMD, Meta, Google, Apple, or whatever you want to stick to. But for me, I just stick to a few stocks when I started, and then I just added more and more. And I eventually kind of found how I like to trade, and I just kept incorporating the big stocks that have a lot of volume on their options. So what I want to go over, guys, is how do I find stocks to trade though based off this list. So say these are the main stocks really. These are the ones I have right here. The other ones I watch as well, but these are the ones I trade the most. As you can see, what I look for is what's up the most and what's down the most. So as we can see, our percent change right here, we have Amazon up the most, up 2.48%. And we have Coin down the most, down 10.78%. So now we know that Amazon is going to be the strongest stock of the day, and Coin is going to be the weakest stock of the day. Okay? The weakest stock of the day. So after I know this, what I do is I go in and look at the chart. So let's look at it for today. Seems like AMD was going to be the strongest stock of the day. Strongest stock of the day, but if the market's all red, and then I look for the red stock. So as you guys can see, on this day, it was about 50-50, so it doesn't matter. You can look at whatever. But I did end up picking Amazon since Coin was already down 10%. So AMD strongest, and it looks like, okay, I wasn't trading SMCI. Tesla was the weakest, down 5%. And as you can see, what I did is you mark your pre-market low, you mark your pre-market high. This was a really hard retest to trade because it was such a small retest, but we did get the retest. But yeah, so once I find those weakest stocks of the day, sometimes I don't just focus just on one either. Like we see Tesla, very weak. We see Coin, very, very weak. We see, so for Coin, what would I do? I would mark the pre-market low, pre-market high. Nvidia was also pretty weak. So what do? We marked the pre-market low, we marked the pre-market high. So once I find my strong stocks and my weak stocks, I mark my pre-market highs and my pre-market lows. So let's make our little checklist. Let's make our checklist, okay? Let's make it on here. So first things first, find strongest stocks, weakest stocks of the day. This is pre-market. Next, mark your pre-market levels. Now third, what do we want to do now? Now, once we have our strongest and weakest stocks of the day marked out, we have our pre-market levels done. Now what we need to see is we want to watch them. But let's do a little bit of a test. So guys, think in your head right now. If I was just watching these 5 stocks, we have SPY up 0.5%, Apple up 1%, Nvidia down 0.2%, AMD plus 0.7%, and Meta up 2.3%. Which is the strongest stock of the day? Think about it. What's going to be the number one stock we're watching for calls? Think in your head. All right, Meta, since it's up the most, as simple as that. And if the market reversed and magically went red, then Nvidia would be the one to watch. But remember, if market's red, you focus on stocks that are down the most. Market goes from red to green, you focus on stocks that are strong. So this is an example on a trade you kind of want to look for. So QQQ opened up green. So it was green. So I was looking for the strong stock of the day. And then since QQQ was green, I saw that Amazon was the strong stock of the day, right? Amazon. So then what did I do? I want to show you guys something that you guys need to look at. Look at this QQQ price action. So look at how weak we are right here. Look at how we dumped right here. While we dumped, Amazon was trying to rip. We were going up, as you can see here. This is a very good sign. This means we have a confluence. This means it's moving stronger than it. That's what you want to see. You always want to trade stocks. If you're trading calls, you want it to be stronger than the index. So, for example, when the index goes up, you want it to go up a lot. When the index goes down, you don't want it to go down that much. So say this is a move like this happens in the index, you want to see something like this in the stock. This is what you want to see in the stock. So as we can see, if Amazon is going up and holding while QQQ is dipping, what do you think is going to happen when QQQ starts to go up? Amazon is going to rip. And that's exactly what happened. Same exact thing happened today. Let's go over it. So, I mean, we could look at Tesla. We can go look at literally like anything, but let's look at Tesla. So, I mean, sorry, not Tesla. So this is QQQ. Oh, what do I want to look at? Check this out. Check this out on QQQ. Well, let me check this out on Microsoft. So 945. I want to look at a few different names. Let's look at Microsoft. So QQQ had a green candle, right? We had Microsoft had a green candle also. Okay. Google had a green candle also. Okay. Apple had a green candle also. Okay. Nvidia had a green candle also. Okay. Amazon had a green candle also. Okay, cool. So what's so different about these green candles though? So Amazon's green candle didn't engulf the previous candle. When you have Microsoft's engulfed it, Nvidia's also almost overtake it, and it had two of them. So here we could kind of see that Amazon's the weakest one. So what you want to look for, and even though that wasn't such a clear example, which I'm sorry about that, but you guys just want to really look at like, okay, what's popping the least as QQQ is popping right now? You know, like what's super, super weak and barely popping with the market as this pop is happening? And then look, QQQ went down half of that candle. Amazon went almost slow a day the next candle. Then boom, dump. Even though the whole market did today, it's just like it's kind of showing you guys how you need to look for the weak compared to the indexes. You need to look at what's moving the weakest compared to the indexes. And it's usually going to be the names that are down the most. Okay? Usually going to be the names that are down the most. So today, that didn't really happen because everything was just down a ton. But again, it's usually going to be those names that are down the most. And as you can see, like Tesla bounced right off, and as Q's barely bounced, Tesla bounced really hard, which is weird because it's down the most on the day. So not all the time does this happen where the confluence is going to hold, but on the initial retest, it's usually pretty well. So let's try to find So yeah, guys, step number 3 is going to be look at the confluence. Find the stock that is the weakest when the others, when that is the weakest or strongest when the others are pulling back or retracing. Because I want to be in the one that's retracing the most, you know? I want to be in the one that when QQQ bounces, it doesn't even bounce. It's that weak. That's what you want to look for, honestly. So like, for example, look at this. Even though Google had a big candle here, QQQ had a green candle. Google didn't have a green candle, you know? And then Google went right back down to low day, then the whole market reversed. So again, today, like everything was a trend day, so it doesn't really, it's hard to show. How about yesterday? Let's see, how about yesterday? All right, let's go into the video. No, there's a really big level here, I'm pretty sure. But do you guys see how right now I'm watching the confluences? Do you guys see how I'm watching how Nvidia is moving compared to Q's? How Nvidia is moving compared to AMD? Like let's look at AMD December 23rd, right? Look at AMD December 23rd. While Nvidia started to rip towards high day, AMD was pulling back. See, as you can see right here, the lines are moving together. So right here, Nvidia has moved to high day and ripped almost $2, while AMD was staying stagnant. You want to be in Nvidia here. You want to make sure you're in Nvidia calls, not AMD calls. And that is super important. That's finding the strongest stock of the day. And the way you do that is by scanning as well. So every Sunday, spend at least an hour reviewing stocks like SPY, Qs, Nvidia, Amazon, Tesla, all those stocks. I look for the patterns from the last class. I look for flags, levels, and gaps. So remember all in the last class, those patterns I went over, those are what I'm looking for. And then I'm journaling my trades every single week. I'm gonna go more into this on I think class 5 or class 6. But again, I'm consisting of cutting out what's not working, seeing what is working, seeing what trades messed me up last week, what stocks did I read wrong, and why did I read them wrong, so that I'm not reading them wrong for this week. And then every single morning, obviously, we're doing the strength and weakness scans, looking at them compared to indexes. We're trying to catch the potential if a stock's going to go from green to red, if the indexes go from green to red, which stock's going to move the most, if the indexes trend, which stock's going to move the most. That's what we're looking for. And that's literally all based off what's up the most, what's down the most, in the confluence. So watching one stock compared to another stock. So like today, I actually took a loss today. And let me show you guys why. So we go to Bitcoin, right? And this is how knowing the confluence saved me. I went from, if I didn't know how to read confluences, I would have lost a lot more in this trade. So look, I took puts on coin right here. I took puts on coin right here, right? So what time is this? 15:25. So let's see. Right here, I took puts on coin. Right here. So this is the candle I took puts on. And this is the candle on coin. You guys see how then Bitcoin hit a new low a day and coin didn't? So I took a trim here because I was like, oh man, coin should be moving way, way, way weaker. And it's not. That means that it's trying to have strength. And then I moved my stop loss up. So my stop loss was up here. I moved it to right here. And then what happened? Bitcoin started to consolidate. And this consolidation made coin rip. And I got out right here for a very, very, very small loss after taking a trim because I was able to read that consolidation. I read that if Bitcoin is dumping and coin is starting to not severely dump, then if Bitcoin goes up a little bit, coin is going to rip. And that's exactly what happened. Exactly. So that's why you need to be able to read these confluences, guys. And with everything else, it's usually Qs or SPY. And then on the crypto names, I look at Bitcoins. So on coin, I look at Bitcoin. And obviously tech names QQQ. But yeah, guys, so that's how you scan. That's how you find the pre-market checklist. Also want to add to this a little bit. After you look at the confluence, every single pre-market, we also want to make sure we know the potential, the key levels need to be marked out for the stocks you want to trade, for the strength and weakness ones. And you need to know the potential economic data for this day. You don't want to enter a trade at 9:59, then 10 a.m. data is going to come. So how do we do that? You just go to forexfactory.com and it tells you. So today at 10:30 a.m. we had natural gas storage, but you guys see these ones in red? Those are the more important ones. The ones in red are the more important ones, okay? So if you have one in red, you really want to pay attention to that. Like you have to make sure you understand numbers that are coming out and how they're going to affect your potential trading conditions. You also want to make sure the stock you want to trade doesn't have earnings this week. So you never trade a stock pre-earnings same week because the contracts are messed up. Okay? The contracts are messed up. So guys, this is our pre-market checklist. Number 1, you want to find the strongest and weakest stocks of the day. Number 2, you want to mark your pre-market levels. Number 3, look at the confluence. Number 4, the key levels need to be marked out for the strength as weakness stocks. You want to be prepared. Number 5, review the economic data. And number 6, just make sure the stock doesn't have earnings this week because you don't want to enter a trade and then get screwed because of that. And this is what you really need to be prepared as well as you need to know if the stock you're trading has candlestick pattern on the daily. So as you guys know, we're looking at the 5-minute now. So let's zoom in real quick. Looking at the 5-minute now, you want to make sure in the daily, so you want to check if it has any patterns, because that's going to help your trade out. It gives you more confluence, because a larger time frame setup is better than a smaller time frame setup. That was a little bit of a shorter one. And I'm not going to say not as important, but it's something you need. You just need to have these things marked down. This is like the boring stuff in trading that you don't really think about, but you need. So I hope you guys kind of have that written checklist. I want you guys to practice it for the rest of this boot camp every single morning. I want you guys to do those, get those things done every morning and be ready with them. Make sure you're ready for day 4, because we're going to go into the best trading indicator, the simple trading tool that I use. This tool alone has made me 6 figures. I mean, VWAP is the literal best indicator for the best trades. If you guys are interested, I'm going to drop a little VWAP educational resource you can prepare for tomorrow's class in the free Discord. So join my free Discord. The VWAP checklist will be there. The VWAP thread, just something for you guys to warm up your brains on VWAP. Day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7 are going to be the best. Those are going to blow your minds. Love you guys. Peace.